Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this time around I'm back again with actually my own gameplay in a tournament that I got invited to. And in the very first round I'm going up against Anonymous from GT40. And obviously carrying that tag around means that he's extremely skilled player, and I was definitely nervous for this match. And I did end up winning the coin toss, which means I got to decide who is going to basically start. And I wanted him to be the one that places first in round 1. And then this is best out of 5, or in other words, first to 3 wins advances. And now my bans. I have a sneaking suspicion that everybody in GT40 is absolutely crazy with Hercules. So Hercules was up for ban. Tiger got a ban because it looks like he has a bigger tiger than I do, and she's an absolute menace. And then typically, in most cases, whenever I see rank 4 Omega Red, I assume that those people know exactly what they're doing with that champion, and Omega Red can be very scary and fast. So Omega Red goes to the ban list. Now, since he started, he drafted Penny to begin with, and I pick Gallon. And at this point, I was kind of deciding to go either with CGR or Longshot. But I do end up going with Longshot because Longshot in this meta can be terrifying attacker and a defender, and I didn't want to pick up 2 Cosmics immediately that primarily do serve as offensive options here. And then to counter, he's deciding in between Pig or Kingpin and CGR, which are obviously excellent picks. And now it's my time to respond. First champion that I'm picking is Thing, because Thing will take time. Even with Kingpin, CGR can't do it. And then I'm going to take Bishop in case he does place his Kingpin on defense. He's going to work great as an attacker. And obviously Kingpin can be problematic defender for later on as well. Could have picked Domino, but I don't like that drafting Domino early on in the match, because then opponents have plenty of time to find a counter. So I let that Domino sit there for a bit. He goes for a Thing of his own, which obviously is quite formidable defender. And then a Human Torch, which, you know, obviously kind of ruins the Longshot on defense. Even though you can still mess up that fight, it's just very risky. It's either going to be very fast fight or nothing's going to happen. Then I see that he has nothing that manipulates power aside from CGR, and I do decide to go with Hyperion and Nova as my next option. Could have grabbed Kingpin, but there were not many champions that I could use. Sorry, I could have grabbed Archangel, but there weren't many champions like an Archangel, so I decided to left him out. Now he goes for Dragon Man, and the Dragon Man does look scary for the champions that I have here. I will actually make a mistake surrounding that Dragon Man. Well, not necessarily a mistake, because he also grabs Hulkling, and obviously Hulkling is insane defender and attacker in this meta. Now I do need to decide on my last defenders. Again, Archangel doesn't really have much to Archangel there, aside from like Kingpin. So I do decide to pick Korg as another defender. And now let the games begin. Right, so he has to place first. And he goes with Thing. And I know that Gallon can and likely will be faster against Thing, especially in this meta, than Kingpin is going to be. So that is exactly what I go for. I do take an opportunity. I typically like to avoid kind of like identical defenders on defense in most cases, but this time it made sense because I did believe that my counter is significantly better than Kingpin in this meta, and we're gonna find that out. Again, I do not have much experience with Gallon because I acquired him relatively recently, and even more recently took him to rank 4, and as evident on my channel, I have kind of been on a ranking spree, so I haven't had that much time to kind of like fully, invest my time into that many champions. But the point is fairly straightforward. I do not want to get level 3. I want to spam my level 2s or level 1s, build up enough planetary mass to basically one-shot him. So that is, again, something that I'm going to be trying to do here. I go for my level 1, and I have at this point 380 planetary mass. I decide to drop my heavy quite early on because I am worried about time. And let's see, he's at 15 charges. I do bait out that special attack, and I go for my level 2 here, sorry, level 1, and he just barely survives it, but he's at 12% health, and I do have 8 Furies. And as we can see that his health is going down quickly enough for me to just finish it with a couple of basic hits here. And that works out. I finish at 98.4% in 54 seconds. And I will end up taking the round here. I'm just, checking what are the other options. He took 114 seconds, so that was quite a long fight. And we did get the dub here. So I place Korg on defense for him. I know that he has like 3 options against Korg, but all of them are at the very bare minimum to take some time to deal with. And he places Dragon Man, which is something that I was definitely worried about. I was hoping that he's going to try to keep the Dragon Man to counter either Hyperion or Nova or something for the final round, and I don't really have a counter. Well, that's false. I do have a counter in Longshot. I did not want to place my Longshot for this match because I wasn't sure that I'm going to win this round with Longshot immediately, and he has Hulkling. If I use Longshot here, I would have to basically go all in, which means that if he drops Hulkling as a defender for the last match, I'd be done for because I would have absolutely no counter. So I do decide to take my chances with Bishop against this guy, and I did not start it perfectly. The plan ideally was to Dex and then parry a bunch, but I hit him initially a handful of times, and one thing that I need to be very careful of is not triggering regens. So I do kind of like let go of my block periodically, but even though I still trigger 1 regen. And here we are. I am at 36 prowess, 42 prowess, and I just decide to go for it, see what damage it is. Unfortunately, none of the hits crit. It was unlikely that I'm going to finish that fight with that level 2, but I just found this to be the fastest optional route, because in my head, I could still potentially salvage this if he does make a mistake, because here I drop my level 1 just to buy me some time until his Unstoppable expires, which is fine. So he drops his level 1, so I take that in block as well. I get those ineptitudes that are fueling my willpower healing. Now I want to get in a parry very quickly, and now I need hope that he uses his special, which he does, which is perfect. And we can see that I'm recovering some of my health with willpower, and now I just basically want to get to at least 30 prowess and go in for the kill using the striker, which I do right here. And then I'm going to finish this off with a level 2 whilst he's already at 3 bars of power, and I have 32 seconds left on the clock. Right, and it does look like he messed up. It does look like he messed up slightly, and he's at 78% and took slightly longer. So surprisingly, I take this round. I was convinced that I'm going to lose this one, especially after hitting level 3. But again, you never know what is going to happen in Battlegrounds, and that's why Battlegrounds are awesome. And so I do take the W in this round. I was feeling quite okay for round 3 in this match though, so I must add that. And now we're going to move on to the next match. And this time around, I will change up my ban slightly, because I decide that against Rich Get Richer, Omega Red is not that easy to control. And I'm going to ban Ghost instead of Omega Red this time around. So I'm leaving that Omega on table. He keeps his same bans. He's getting rid of my Valkyrie, my Mephisto, and my Rintra. I have to draft first. Here again, I'm going to go with Longshot, because I do think that Longshot is very good, two-way champion for this meta in particular. And then as soon as I see him grabbing that Scorpion, I'm like, okay, so Longshot probably will not be too great to use for defense, because Scorpion's going to be great against Longshot. And then we have Domino. And obviously, first instinct is always to get immediate Domino counter, which is exactly what I do. And I also grab a Hulkling just because of how busted he is for this meta in particular. And yeah, so those are my picks here. Then let's see what he carries on with. There are plenty of good options remaining there. So he goes for his big, chunky rank 4 Korg. And he also picks Gallon, which is always dangerous. Right, so he locks them in. It's my turn to retaliate. Again, I evaluate the situation, and in this meta, I really like Nimrod, because he can be extremely troublesome with Rich Get Richer on defense, and obviously he's even faster for Domino. I know it's kind of doubling up on that, but knowing the fact that he's also a defender, I do decide to go with that. And I'm also going to pick a Domino for this round, just in case he does not get any tech counters. And even if he does, I can still use that domino to deal with Korg, or potentially, you know, Kingpin or something else if he places it, because it's not like domino is not usable in attack at all. She's RNG dependent, she's quite risky, but, you know, she can have her uses, and there were already some champions that she could potentially deal with relatively well. Then he picks Claire and also Nick Fury, and it's my turn to kind of finish the draft here. And I will go with Bishop, just to have a very solid core counter and also decent defender. And then obviously we do have to pick our Juggernaut, because Juggernaut is just bonkers and absolutely crazy. That being said, he drafts Doom as the last option, and I actually don't really have any good counter to Dr. Doom, which immediately made me worried. And that means I also need to place first, but he did not get any tech champions to counter Domino, so I placed my Domino on defense, knowing that he's probably going to struggle with her without, you know, Hulkling or any very good solution for that. And he plays Nick Fury. My initial instinct is to go with Juggernaut, but the reason why I did not pick Juggernaut for this fight is because if I do so, I really wouldn't have any good counter for Dr. Doom, because Juggernaut can do Dr. Doom well if you play it well. It is, you know, fairly specific fight with quite a lot of room, well, ways to mess it up, but Juggernaut can do it. And Hulkling is just an absolute torpedo. This is actually going to be a bit of a funny fight because I will mess it up in the end, but we'll see how much it is going to punish. He chose his Domino to go up against mine, and that's not a good idea. He's just basically burning Domino, knowing that he's lost this round, in my opinion, because I do have two very hardcore counters to Domino, so she's not going to have much purpose on defense at all. And now I just need to deal with Nick Fury here. I'm going to go in for my first level 2 with a double Furies, which is awesome. We do not crit first 2, second one hit crits, but it's fair enough. Now I want to push Nick Fury to 2 bars of power whilst hitting like a god. And now I needed him to throw that level 2, which he didn't, but I made a risky play to throw my level 2 in his block, and luckily I did not get punished, you know, probably also because I had plenty of distance after it landed. And now I finish it with another level 2. And that's a 42 seconds, 98% health Nick Fury kill. That's very good. That's very, very, very good. It's about as fast as Juggernaut can do it too. And this match, obviously, it's Domino versus Domino, so he's not going to do too great. So I just check out the future matchups. He places Doom as I feared. And I'm going to place Juggernaut, knowing that he has to... Well, no, wait, I'm not placing Juggernaut, I think. I'm going to be placing Nimrod, because Nimrod's fairly chunky. And with Nimrod, he basically has to burn his Gallon now, which is something I want, because I didn't really want to fight Gallon at all, because I don't really have a great counter for Gallon. And yeah, I just want to get that Gallon out of the way, knowing that I probably most likely lost this one, but it's going to be close. But that is why you love Juggernaut, right? So Juggernaut against Dr. Doom. I have done this fight in past well, so let's start from the beginning. The beginning is not great. Let's break this down. So I missed my parry, so I take 3% block damage unnecessarily, and he immediately throws his level 1. That's as bad of a start of a fight as you can want. Waste basically 15 seconds waiting out that aura, because I do not want to be anywhere close with him whilst he has that aura active. But it's okay, I immediately get to my level 2 and drop it, even though I didn't get the Fury. You know, it still deals okay damage, and I just kind of finish up my build up. And now I'm ready for my second level 2, which does plenty. And here I need to push him to level 2, which is always the plan. And here is the big mistake. He kept triggering his Furies, and I nullified it. At this point, I should have simply thrown my level 2, but I nullified that Fury, and that pushes me into 3 bars of power. Now, with Juggernaut, thankfully, getting to level 3 is not end of the world, because level 3 hits hard, level 3 has a very short animation, and they come out stunned, so you can still get in, you know, fair few hits. But because I pushed myself level 3, I barely end up losing this match by 700 points. You know, this was just such an annoying loss. It really irked me, really pissed me off. Juggernaut could have done this fight in like 50, 45 seconds, something like that. He would have done this fight in about 40 seconds if I didn't have Dr. Doom throw his level 1. That wasted about 10 seconds, and then obviously I ended up getting pushed to level 3, which again wasted up another several seconds. But all of those things considering, he still finished that Dr. Doom in an insane time. And now I have Korg. So I placed Omega Sentinel on defense, seeing that he has Black Widow, Clairvoyant, and Scorpion, and those will likely take time because neither one of them have buffs, and Omega Sentinel will. And then I do have Bishop to counter Korg. So I was feeling fairly confident. As long as I do not mess up this fight, I should be able to win it. But obviously it's me playing, nerves are a factor, and mistakes are made. But the question is how badly I mess up. So here the plan ideally is to get those regens, trigger Dexterity, and then start, hitting him, getting rid of Rockfield. And again, I really wanted to trigger that Dexterity and benefit from it, but here is reverse happens. He gets his Fury, he starts gaining power, and I'm like, this is already off to a very bad start. Nothing I wanted happened here. Need to wait out this level 2 and as quick as possible, because his rock stacks are going to return in a second, and I do need to line up my level 2 whilst they are off. So I drop it immediately with only 30 prowess, which only deals about, 50% of his health, and he's clearly not dying from this one. So I need to basically quickly get to another level 2. Luckily, Rich Get Richer at that point was working in my favor, but I miss the level 1 evade. I'm very confident normally with this level 1 evade, but I missed it this time around. But immediately, as soon as I get level 2, the fight is over. So it wasn't perfect finish. I lost 12% health, and it took a bit longer than it should. But still, 1 minute core kill, and that gets me the round number 2. Now it's round number 3, and it's my turn to... Well, it's his turn to place first this time around. So the bands remain the same. Hercules, Ghost, and Tigra. He gets rid of my Valkyrie, Mephisto, and Rintra, and he gets Hulkling as his first champion. I get Juggernaut as my first round. Always love to see Juggernaut there. And then I pick CGR as another offensive option, because obviously CGR can absolutely demolish stuff. And let's see what he decides to go for. He doesn't really have specific defenders to counter here, in a sense. So he picks a Nick. So he picks Spider-Ham and Bishop. No, Nick, Bishop. I forgot what he picked here. He picks Nick Fury. Fair enough. And now, obviously, I need a good... Well, I do have countered Nick Fury, so I'm not worried about that at all. But I want to get some defense going, because Hulkling is insanely powerful. So I just go for 2 rocky dudes that are not that easy to take down. So I pick up Thing. I'm going to pick up Korg, knowing that both of them, at the very least, will buy me, some time. And as long as I have more suitable, faster options, it should be good enough. Especially in case of Thing. Thing can take forever. So he goes for a Korg of his own. And I believe he's going to pick Dr. Doom here. Yes, which, again, is a troublesome foe to go up against. Now I need to decide who am I going to go with. First obvious choice is Hulkling, because Hulkling can nuke a lot of things. And then the second option, I need ideally a defensive or dual-purpose champion here. So I'm thinking Nova, but no, I'm going to end up going with Galen, because Galen, again, is, fairly chunky boy. He can buy a bit of time. Now let's see what he picks as his defenders. I'm just double-checking what I have there. I'm quite happy with Juggernaut, CGR, Thing, Korg, Hulkling, and Galen. Everything that I drafted is kind of sectional, like 2 insanely fast champions, 2 defense-only champions, and 2 cosmic dual-purpose champions. Quite happy with that. He goes for Kingpin and the Thing. And again, I noticed that yet again he has left himself without a single tech champion, or champion that would be really good for Domino. So I'm like, fair enough. I know that Hulkling can nuke Domino well in this meta, but even then, the Hulkling would probably take around 15-20% of his health. The fight typically lasts about like 35 to 40 seconds, so that can still give me a room to compete. But ideally, I do not want to throw my Domino until the Hulkling is gone. But luckily for me, he plays Hulkling as his initial defender, which I'm quite satisfied with. So I immediately throw down Domino since Hulkling is gone and there's absolutely nobody that does Domino well. And now I need to start thinking about my offensive options. And I have CGR and I have Juggernaut. And the thing, and I feel more comfortable with Juggernaut against Hulkling. CGR can do Hulklings very well also. But it's just like a personal preference thing. And this fight is going to be a bit sad. And we're going to... Okay. Let's just get to it and break it down step by step. So it's Juggernaut against Hulkling. Typically super fast fight. I have finished Hulklings with Juggies in like 25-30 seconds. Here we can see I get an intercept. Sweet. And I have 7 unstoppables already. And getting another intercept. And he unfortunately triggered his indestructible, so I kind of backed off. And here I go for level 2, and level 2 does decent damage. And it's perfect. So I decide again, since I triggered indestructible and bet out that level 2, I just need to get to my... I trigger his indestructible, sweet. Parry once, and here I drop my level 2, and he just reaches 3 bars of power due to Rich Get Richer node, because he did at that point have more buffs than I did. That's because I let him get pierce buff, and he drops a level 3. He was at 10%, and I would have finished that fight in like 40 seconds. So here I kind of barely save myself with the striker from getting clapped, and I do get hit a couple more times, but I do finally get that intercept. I drop a level 2 immediately. That lets me get some adrenaline healing to 24%. And 62-second finish. It's an awful fight. I bring shame to the name of Juggernaut. I really do. That Hulkling screwed me over. But we have Domino on defense. So this was a very, very, very tense moment. Because obviously Spider-Ham has degen resistance. And if you have very good RNG, and if Domino, isn't too fussy, you can definitely finish this fight, in my opinion, better. If you get lucky. But Domino does her job, and even with such a scruffy fight, I end up finishing with a win on the round 1. Now again, I start checking our rosters, see what's what, and deciding what is going to be my game plan. Thing is, I was kind of relatively unconfident about this match. And I decide to go with Korg on defense here. And the reason for that is very, very, very specific. I don't have a great Doom counter here. That is why I'm placing Korg right now, knowing that his best option of killing Korg is Dr. Doom, knowing it's going to take approximately 60 seconds, might be slightly faster because I only have rank 3 Korg, and that he's going to come out with quite a lot of health. Place that knowing that basically whatever I'm going to go up against, I need pretty much a perfect clear, and I can win if I don't mess it up, but I need to get that Doom out of him. If he doesn't use Doom on attack here, there is no way he can outpace me with any of his defenders other than Dr. Doom, in which case I'm still confident throwing this round to keep Thing as the last, or Thing or Hulkling, most specifically, as my last defender, and use Gallon to basically kill whatever remains. So here it was like a big brain play, because I had to get Doom out in this round, because if he somehow wins this round and keeps his Doom, I'm screwed. So by the looks of it, it is going to be a Korg off. Problem here is his Korg is bigger than my Korg, but I do have CGR. And you can, and again, here is the critical part, you can do Korg faster with more points with CGR than Dr. Doom can. If he doesn't pick Dr. Doom here, I'm sure I win. If he does pick Dr. Doom, I know it's going to be close, but I can win if I don't mess it up. But I know that also with this setup right now, I have him at round 3, basically. Because all I had to do is place Hulkling on defense. We're going to rewind it here. Because after he plays his Dr. Doom, there's absolutely no way not to die to Hulkling because of Rich Get Richer node, him not really being able to deal with Hulkling's healing all too well. And then whatever he has, I can Gallon. Simple as that. He plays his Kingpin, Gallon, Thing, Gallon, Nick Fury, Gallon does well enough. So I was feeling confident about round 3, but I also knew that I can try and win this round. And I needed to play very, very well. And this is going to be the definition of AI taking it easy on me. Here I mess up and he just does 2 hits and armor triggers and I didn't crit and I still have 96% health. Sweet! So here I go for my first level 2. Again, it is a rank 4 Korg. So I get to drop that one. Very well. And we finish this with the combo. Unfortunately, I dex there, which is going to kind of cost me. So now I needed to throw my level 2 basically urgently to get rid of some power. Now I'm gonna need to go for another level 2, but I have not dropped my heavy attack. I need squeeze in heavy attack if I want a judgment basically reset here. So I do need to get a heavy attack. I'm thinking which judgment I need here, and I realized it has to be the heavy. So I go with the striker here. Sweet. Everything's fine. And here I hit him block once. And I try to punish his level 2 with my heavy. And I'm not getting the spacing correct. But it's fine. His AI took it easy on me again. And I only lost further 2% health. So I got super lucky because I could have done this fight faster. Fair enough. Definitely. Especially if I dropped that heavy earlier. And his he just didn't crit and didn't do too much damage to me. So 93%. And look at that score. Look at that score. There's only like 400 point difference. 3 seconds in time. And also like basically the same HP. So I got very, very lucky with AI here. But again, even if I lost this round, obviously I think I was still at a much better situation for the 3rd round. But that is it. That is how the match ended. It was 3-0. Obviously, the score does not give Anonymous justice. He played very well. Several of the matches were decided again in a margin of 1,000 points. So nothing but respect to the guy. He did a very, very good job. And there is nothing to kind of be upset about when you play as well as he did. And that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the